Hello everyone, welcome to this session of Basics of Web Development presented by SIAM-VIT. I'm your host Swetank. Let's wait for a bit so that more of you can join. Till then, let me tell you more about SIAM. The Society for Industrial and Applied Mathematics, or SIAM, is an international chapter with a populace of more than 14,000 individuals across the globe. It has presence only in 5 colleges in the country, with VIT being the only private institute in this elite group. Our objective is to advance the application of mathematics and computational science to engineer industries, science, and technologies. But rest assured, math isn't all we do. We are a technical chapter and we dive into various domains like AI, ML, web dev, etc. and aim to find technical solutions to real-world problems. I think we can get started now. So let's start. What is web development? Web development is the building and maintenance of websites. It's the work that happens behind the scenes to make a website look great, work fast, and perform well with a seamless user experience. Web developer can pursue a variety of careers. Associate degrees graduate can obtain entry-level web developer or programmer position if they have the right certifications. There are many career opportunities like computer programmer, web developer, database administrator, and software developer. A few examples of web application are online banking, social networking, e-commerce, interactive games, and blogs. Coming to the field of web development, it is generally broken down into two: front-end and back-end. A front-end developer takes care of layout, design, and interactivity using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. They take an idea from drawing board and turn it into reality. What you see, what you use, such as a visual aspect of web site, the drop-down menus are all brought together by front-end developers. Coming to the back-end developers. The back-end developers engineer what is going on behind the scene. There is where all the data is stored, and without this data, there would be no front-end. The back-end developer uses computer program to ensure that the server, the application, and the database run smoothly together. What exactly is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is used for creating web pages and web applications. HTML isn't a programming language. It is a markup language that is used with tags and elements. HTML has a positive aspect, that is, its interpreter is the browser itself, which means that the Google Chrome will be the interpreter of HTML code. HTML helps in designing web pages with different colors, text, addition of photos, and many more things. These collection of web pages results into a website. To start with the making, we should know more about building blocks of web pages, that are HTML tags. HTML tags are like keywords which define what and how the web browser will format and display the content. With the help of tags, a web browser can distinguish between an HTML content and a simple content. Tags are the fundamental of HTML. If you are familiar with the tags, then you can easily make web pages. In this video, we will be going through the basic of tags that can be used to design a web page. To start with HTML, we have to assign Doctype Tag at the top, that is a declaration. HTML Doctype Tag is used to inform the browser about the version of HTML used in the document. It is called document type declaration. It is not a tag or an element. It is just an instruction to the browser about the document type. It is a null element which does not contain a closing tag and must not include any content within it. It tells the browser which version of HTML you are using. Always remember to write the doctype tag before the HTML coding. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the doctype tag I'm talking about. Coming to the HTML tag. After the doctype tag, we include the HTML tag. Between this tag, all the HTML code is written. The HTML tag represents the root of an HTML document, hence also called the root element. It is a container of all elements such as body, head, and each element which appears in an HTML document. It tells the browser that the document is an HTML document. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the HTML tag. So coming to the head tag. Head tag is a kind of container. Head tag contains the title, script, CSS tags. The head tag of an HTML document is a part whose content is not displayed in the browser on the page loading. It just contains metadata about the HTML document, which specifies data about the HTML document. An HTML head can contain lots of metadata information or can have very less or no information. It depends on our requirement. Let me show you. This is the head tag that I'm talking about. So coming to our next tag is our body tag. HTML body tag defines the main content of an HTML document which displays on the browser. It can contain text, contains paragraphs, headings, images, tables, links, videos, etc. Body tag is one of the most important tags. All the content that you want to show on the web page is written inside the body tags. So let me show you. This is the body tag. So let's make a simple web page as an example to know more about format, standard and extension and the coding that are involved in it. So let's go to, basically we are using Visual Studio Codes for web development. It is easy and a user-friendly software to use. I'll just show you how to get in your device. First, you have to go and search Visual Studio Code download in your search engines. Then click on the first link that you get for the download. It's taking a while. Now download the variant that suits you the best. From here you can install the user installer, 64-bit, 32-bit or anything that suits your device. I have already downloaded it and installed it in my device, so I'll just start with the coding. So let's get started with it. You have to select a file and open a new file. Then you have to save it. I'm saving it with the name of html1.html. Remember to give the extension name as HTML or it won't work. So now let's start with the coding. First, as we have discussed, we will be using Doctype tag at the beginning. After that, we will be using HTML tag underneath, and you can see how easily it's the Visual Studio is already suggesting its own tags to us. Inside the HTML tag there will be head tag and the body tag, as we have already discussed. Head and the body tag. So now we come to the title of the web page that we are going to use. We will write the title in the head tag with title using title tag, and I will give the title as my name only. Now let's come to the body of the web page. First, the heading. There are basically 6 type of headings that we can use, varying from H1 to H6, H1 being the largest in font size and H6 being the smallest. So you can select as you wish. I am selecting the H1 to show you how we can do. So I will be giving the tag heading as Game of Thrones, as it's my personal favorite, so you can choose anything that suits you. Now for the paragraph tag I will be using P. It's the paragraph tag that I was talking about. Now I'll add some code in it. I've already searched for codes, and let me select this one and use it. You just have to write what you want to display as a paragraph between the P or a paragraph tag. So I think this is ready. Let me save it, and then we will have to go, and here is our HTML1 prepared. First of all, select this, and you can see the title is given here as Swetank. Heading of our web page is Game of Thrones, and the code is given here only. Now actually we can also add an image to this, so let me add an image using image tag. We don't need alt right now. So here is src. Basically you have to give the source address of the image. I will show you how to do it. I will select Tyrion Lannister photographs, and then this is the photograph that I want to add, and I will copy the image address and just paste it over here. This is the source of the image that I want to add to my web page, and I will just save it and try to run it. You can see the image has appeared on my web page. Let me show you one thing more. We can give the height to this image like 200, and width also like 200. Save it, then over. You can see that image height has changed as we have decided. So now you have learned how to make a web page basically using title, heading, images and paragraph tags. So let me tell you one more important tag, which is a div tag. Div tag is a grouping blockline element Div tag is generally used by web developers to group HTML elements together and apply CSS styling to many of elements at once. Similarly, span is another tag that can be used to style the grouped inline elements. Coming to another important topic we have is the tables. So you must have seen table in different websites. HTML table tag is used to display data in a tabular form. There can be many columns in a row. We can create a table display data in tabular form using table element with the help of tr, td and th elements. We are going to create a table using the table tag. So now let's get to VS Code to create one. We will name this as table.html. Okay, so it's saved. Now giving it an extension doctype and HTML. Doctype. Now we'll be using head tag and giving it a title table. Coming down to our main body, I'll be using a heading for this, giving it a name result sheet. I will be making a result sheet as a table example for you. Now, for creating a table, we have to use table tag, and in the table tag we will be adding our first row writing using tr tag to assign different headings. To the row we will be using th tag. For the first heading I will be using English as my first subject, and for second heading I will be using maths as my second subject. Third subject will be science. So let me save it and you can go to the table and see. So you can see we have created a web page which is titled as table, and we have a heading named result sheet. But does it look like a table? Not to me. So let me show you how to give table border, because until we don't have border it does not look like a table. We are giving border as one, and then we will go and see how our page looks. Now you can see it looks somehow like table. So let's get to another thing. Now we will add certain values to these columns using td tag. So we'll create a new row using tr tag, and in those rows we will be adding values using td tag. So I'm giving first marks as 80, second marks as 90, and third marks as 85. and save it. So you can see here the marks of the particular subjects are shown in the table as we wanted. So you've seen how easy it is to create a table and add values to it. But wait, let me show you one more thing. And we are creating a new row, and in this row we will be adding image. We don't need alt, so image source is as usual. We will copy this and paste it like 3 times to create 3 rows. Now we'll save it and see what we get. You can see we have got 3 pictures of Peter Dinklage in our table as we required. So you have seen how to make a table in HTML and add values. Wasn't that easy? It looks pretty easy to me. So you must have filled certain forms on internet regarding job application, registration of clubs, and etc. Do you know how to create a form? We will learn now by HTML forms. An HTML form is a section of a document which contains controls such as text fields, password fields, checked boxes, radio buttons, submit button, menus, etc. An HTML form facilitates the user to enter data that is to be sent to the server for processing, such as name, email address, password, phone number, etc. So we'll now see how to create a form. We will use Visual Studio's code and create a new file. We will save it with the name form.html. So we have created a new page. So I'll give the Doctype extension first, and underneath it HTML extensions, head and body. Let me get the title as forms, and now I'm coming to body of the form. So in body I will be giving a heading H2. It will show you how it's a bit smaller from what we have used in earlier practicals, that is H1. It's form. We are giving it name forms. Okay, let me change it to registration form. Registration form. And now now we will use a form tag for creating a form. We don't need action. As of now, we will use the input tag from the user to take the input. Let's make it a name input. So first of all, it will be, it was correct actually. Let me give it a label. I'll just tell you what label stands for. First let me give it enter your name. So label tag just adds a label to a form control such as text, email, passwords, text areas, and etc. So we have used a label here for the name input from the user, and now we'll give it input type text and we'll give a name to it, which is name. Let's give it a name, and then we'll use br tag. Basically br tag is break tag. It breaks the line from where we apply it, so that the next label and the input area comes in the next line that we are going to put. So we are using the label again. Enter your email. So we are taking email from the user, input text. Now we'll use email as our input this time and name it as email as well. We will use a br tag here also. Now let's take a label for passwords. And we'll take input type is password this time. So you've seen we have already used text, email, and now we are using password type of input. So we'll give it a name, password, and then I'll just break it here. Then thinking about it, I will use label. Okay, let me break it, and then I'll use label for gender. I will be using label for gender, and I will break it here. Now you'll see how we use gender label, and we will use input as radio type. So we'll have input as radio, and I will give it a name, gender, I will give it a value as male, and let's give it male, and then br let's give take another input for female. Name is given as female, name is given as gender again, and value is equal to female. Let me give it a name, female, and let's break it here only. So Always remember to use the same name in both the radio button, or else it will not give a favorable outcome. So let's save it and see how our form looks. We have created a form here. So you can see we have created a registration form that will take your name as, let me show you, Swetank Kaushik. Take your email as email, and we'll take your password as it's showing stars. And now if I select male, it will show male as a selected option, but if I choose female, the male will become the unfavored option. Similarly, you can have many more radio buttons. So now it's time for adding the most common button that we see. It's the submit button. So give it a name, input. It will have input, and type is submit. It will take submit. Value that will be given is sign up. I'm choosing sign up for now. So value is given as sign up, and so my form is ready. Now I'll show you how my form looks. Now you can see I have a name. I can enter my name, I can enter my email and give a active password, and choose gender as male or female as I desire, and then sign up button for the same. You have to link it to some other web page for the sign up to work. Now I'll tell you about placeholder. It specifies a short hint that describes the expected value of an input field. So now you're seeing how we made the form. We'll give a placeholder here. It gives enter name. We must have seen faded lines saying enter your name or enter your email ID. We can give a placeholder here also with email. So we will save it and check it how it's working. You can see enter name and email is showing in the input places that you have set up. So now you have seen we have made a form using HTML. This is how we have made a HTML form, table and an HTML web page. Coming to the designing of the web page, we will now start with the HTML using CSS. HTML using CSS. CSS is to apply style in web page, using which is made up of HTML elements. It describes the look of the web page. CSS provides various style properties such as background color, padding, margins, border color and many more to style a web page. There are three parts of CSS, that is inline, internal and external CSS. In this video we are going to understand how to apply CSS at a very basic level. So let's go to inline CSS. Inline CSS is used to apply CSS in a single element. It can apply style uniquely in each element. To apply inline CSS, you need to use style attribute within HTML element. We can use as many properties as we want, but each property should have a separated by a semicolon. Now let's understand it by doing a practical. You can see how it has shown here. We will be doing something similar to this in our new form, and I'll save it by name inline.html. So I will be doing inline CSS. First, let me give doctype HTML and head body tag. So we are ready. I will be giving title as inline CSS will work fine. CSS body as I will give H3. I will use H3 heading and giving it a name HTML using CSS. And now we are done. So let's see what we can have. And here is inline. So we can see we are having a title name inline CSS and the heading HTML using CSS. Now we are going to apply inline CSS to this heading. We're going to use style. First use style, and then here's color. I will use black. Use black. It gives by default a semicolon, but if it doesn't, you have to put a semicolon after each and every styling you give. And I will give font style as italic. I will give text alignment to center and font size as 50 pixel rather size. Now I'll save it and just show you how my heading looks after the inline CSS. So you can see it has changed according to the changes that we have made, according to the styling we have done. Let's see what have we done. We have changed the color of heading to black, font style to italic, alignment to center, and font size to 50 pixels. So this is how we do inline CSS. Coming to our next topic, we have internal CSS. And an internal style sheets contains CSS property for a web page in head section of HTML document. To use internal CSS, we can use class and ID attributes. I will be discussing about class and ID attribute in the later part of this seminar, but right now we will do simple internal CSS. We can use internal CSS to apply a style for a single HTML page. So you can see how internal CSS is going to be applied. We have to use CSS properties in the head section of the HTML document. So I'll show you by doing a practical. I'm going to make a new page and save it by now. Internal the HTML, and now we'll just assign a dot type. As you can see, we are doing it in the previous part of the videos. HTML head and body tags, as we have discussed. So first of all, we have to style it in head, so I'm not giving title first. I will be doing the head part later on. First I will give h2 heading, and I will give learning HTML using internal CSS, and I will give a paragraph also so that you can get it good here. We learn internal CSS. So now we'll go to the head part and do the styling. Let me give the title internal CSS, and we'll be doing the body first. We'll be doing the styling. So wait, first we have to give the style tag before doing the styling. Inside the style tag, I will be assigning style to body, and for that I will be giving background color as lavender or something good, like, let's see, lavender. I will do the text alignment as center. Now this is done for the body. I will be doing for h2. I'm going to give it font style as italic. And now coming to font size of this, I will be giving 30 px. Color is going to be something dark, so I'll select dark red. So I've done the styling of our heading, learning HTML using internal CSS. Now coming to paragraph, I will give it a font size only to 20 px. So we are done for now, and now let me check how it's working. Here is our internal CSS. So you can see our page is showing a lavender background, and the heading in learning HTML using internal CSS is in dark red color with italic font, and the paragraph is just showing just beneath it. Let me show you with some different background color so that it will be much more visible. Color, let's choose dark, okay, and let's save it. Refresh the page, and you can see the background color changes perfectly. We can add different properties to the content we have using internal CSS. So now that we have finished internal CSS, we are going to our next topic, that is external CSS. So let me bring external CSS. So external CSS can be very useful tool to design web pages when you have more than one page. An external CSS file contains a separate CSS file which can only contain style code using a class name, ID name, tag name, etc. We can use this CSS file in any HTML file by including it in any HTML file using link tag. For this, you just have to add a small link between the head tag, which will apply all the different styling to the element of different web pages. We have to make a new CSS file for this. So let's give it a try and try to do it on our own. I will make a new file and save it, naming external .html. So HTML, and I will make an extra file and name it as style.css. So you can see I have made a style sheet separately for the HTML file that we are going to use as external.html, so that we can style all the belongings of this file in our style sheet. So first let me add doctype HTML head and body to this. Now we'll add a link. Let's give it a title first. External CSS, and we have to link it, so I will be using a link tag, link style sheet. href is style.css, and we'll be giving it type text CSS. So we have declared a link here only, and now we'll design the body of our web page. It's going to be h2 and learning HTML with external CSS. Going to paragraph, I will be using of external CSS. So let's save it and see what we have. So you can see here our new style sheet external CSS file is also created with the external HTML file. So let's open it and see. This is the plain body of our web page, but now we'll just give it some touches and body. So body. Now for background color, I will choose something dark. That can be anything. Brown. And text alignment will be in the center. Now let's give h2 its styling. Font style will be italic. Font size will be 30 pixels. Color will be Bollywood. I don't know what this is, but it looks good. So let's give a paragraph its styling. I will just give it font size 20px and color will be silk. And let's just save it and see what our new external CSS file looks like. So you can see now we have designed a new external CSS file with a title name external CSS and our heading and the paragraph, as we all can see, have been designed as we wanted them to. Our background is a brown color and we have changed the color of heading and the paragraph that we have added to our body. So you've seen how easily we have linked external CSS to the HTML file and apply styling to the different pages. So you have seen the importance of styling. Let's suppose we have created our web page using HTML and we want to something which can present our page in a correct format and visibly attractive. So to do this, we style our web page with CSS, and we have learned 3 ways to do that. Now coming to our next topic, we are going to see about class attribution in HTML. Let's get to class attribution in HTML. The HTML class attribute is used to specify a single or multi-class name for an HTML element. The class name can be used by CSS and JavaScript to do some task for HTML element. You can use this class in CSS with a specific class period. We write a period dot character followed by the name of class for the selecting element. Now we'll do a practical to see what it's all about. Now save this with the name class, the HTML, and we can, as we usually do, Doctype HTML head and body. So I'll first do the body part so that we can do head afterward. H1 and class will be heading. I will give heading and closer. This is my first heading. Let's come to H2 with class heading and closure. This is my second heading. So we are done with the body part. Now we'll go to styling and use a style tag, and inside the style tag dot heading, and use curly braces. So I'll give them a color that's dark, something dark turquoise, and a font family. It's let's just change it. Font style, font family. I'll give font family as cursive. It's basically font styling, and then I will give them a background color, something dark, dim gray. So we have done the styling using class attribute. Let's save it and see what we got. So you can see that we have got a page with name class HTML because I have not given it a title, and we have got this two headings, like this is my first heading and this is my second heading, and they are having different they are having the similar styling as they have the same class, and I have styled it on the basis of class. So class attribute has been used to design the body of the web page that we desire. Now coming to our next topic, we'll be doing ID attribute in HTML. The ID attribute is used to specify the unique ID for an element of the HTML document. It allocates the unique identifier which is used by the CSS and JavaScript for performing certain tasks. So let me show you with a practical what this means, and then you understand it better. Let's save it with HTML. Let me give it Doctype Tag, HTML tag, head tag, body tag, body tag, and body. First let me do the body part. B is using CSS to start. Now I'll use H1 as ID. Give it an ID name. ID equals to cars. Sorry. And we'll give the heading as cars only. So we are done with the body. Let me show you how to style this, and I will give title as ID attribute. Now let's style it using style tag or padding. I'll give a padding to this. I'll just tell you about padding later on. Padding 40 px and this. We have background color. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. It mentioned cars, so that's why it was not working fine. Padding 40 px and background color will be adding floral white. Let's select floral white, and then color will be black or something dark. Let's go with text alignment center. So I have created this, and I'll show you how this page really looks. So let's see what we have got from our ID attribute, and as you can see that the ID attribute has been styled as we wanted, whereas the remaining part of the body has been left unstyled, and the ID that was named cars is styled in our favored way. And you must have noticed that at the time of styling, class begins with a full stop, whereas ID begins with a hash. ID can be attributed to one and only one element, whereas classes can be attributed to more than one element. As we have seen in the earlier part, class was attributed to more than one type of headings with the same name, whereas ID cannot be attributed to more than one element with the same name. So that's the basic difference between ID and class, whereas they work in a similar way. So coming to our video, so we have seen how we can make a web page and apply styling to it. We can add animations, videos, and apply many other things to our styling of our web page, which we will be learning in our further seminars. So that's all for today's class, and if you have any kind of doubt, you just post it in our comment section, and our SIAM team member is always present there to help you, and will try to solve your problems as soon as possible. Thank you and have a nice day.